Hey everybody, one of the most stubbornly persevering dogmas about the Bible that I encounter on social media is the idea that the biblical canon was in some way, shape, or form established by Constantine or at the Council of Nicea. And the reality is we have multiple accounts of the proceedings of the Council of Nicea, and the canon of the Bible played absolutely no role whatsoever. Now, I can find two possible ancient sources for this rumor. The earliest is the prologue to Jerome's Latin translation of the book of Judith for the Vulgate, where he comments that the book had been found to be among the scriptures by the Council of Nicea. And this is coming around 80 years after the Council of Nicea. And it's not really an indication that the Council of Nicea debated the canon or established the canon. It's just a mention that the book of Judith was considered scripture at the time. The canon wouldn't actually begin to fall into place until the end of the 4th century CE anyway. The next thing that likely contributed to the development of this idea about the canon being established by the Council of Nicea comes from around the year 900 CE with a text called the Synodicon Vetus, which was an account of all the synods and councils that had been held within early Christianity up to around the year 887 CE. That was the most recent council that is discussed in the Synodicon Vetus. And it shares a number of legends and myths about these synods, but it tells a story about how at the Council of Nicea they stacked all the books of Scripture on a table, and God miraculously made the text known as the Apocrypha fall to the ground, thus declaring and preserving the canonical books of the Bible on the table. Now, there is absolutely nothing from prior to this text that indicates approximating any such event ever took place at Nicaea. This is almost certainly a legend that was in circulation around the time of the composition of the Synodicon Vetus. But this idea was then picked up by Voltaire, was repeated by some people in the 19th century, and then the reason it is so prevalent today is because Dan Brown picked it up and repeated it in the Da Vinci Code. And so a lot of people read that and figured that was factual, and so now that has become a deeply embedded falsehood about the Bible that is still spread to this day.